Hello and welcome to another episode of the Strange Origins podcast, episode 71.
70? Jesus Christ.
I know, blitzing through them now.
just a one by one. One after the other. One after the other.
Yeah, I honestly, it comes around so quickly when we do the podcast.
Yeah,
For me, anyway.
It's almost like becoming like an unpaid internship.
Unpaid internship. I mean, I guess you could put it on your CV. There you go.
Yeah. Hi. It's one of my many accomplishments. I do podcasts.
But yeah, I thought this week, we'll try and have a slight theme of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I had a thought provoking moment when it was my birthday.
Yeah.
I went out to the British Museum. And it was fun, seeing they have the Rosetta Stone. Do you know what that is?
The actual stone, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the actual stone that's from the slab.
Yeah.
That thing.
No.
They got a bunch of ancient Roman stuff, medieval England, Greek.
Yeah.
But then they have African stuff and all the other stuff, right? Loads of stuff. And then it got me wondering, especially with today's sort of society, how there's colonialism and people don't like it. They think it's wrong what happened. People took the land, took this, took that. Especially with Britain, British Empire was the biggest in the whole world.
It's fucking massive.
Yeah, and a lot of the artifacts that they took weren't theirs. I guess weren't theirs by right, but was theirs legally? I guess because they took over the country. I don't know if it works like that.
Yeah.
But even regardless, morally, it wasn't right, right?
Yeah.
And it got me wondering, is it less of a good thing nowadays? Not seen as a good thing now to go to those kind of museums and see that stuff. I mean, you're not paying to get in. It is free.
Yeah, but I'd say yes and just move on to the next question. Joking. No, it's just I kind of understand because it's because I kind of have issue with it's kind of similar to a different topic, but basically, I kind of agree. I think it should be given to where the origin is of the artifact is, because it's not yours.
Right.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's if you could put everything in one place and it's free and no one's making money out of it, it's almost it's cool. But
yeah, because I'm kind of on the line of I think it's okay because where it's coming from is purely a place of education.
Yeah,
it's in a museum, so it's trying to teach you something about the artifact, the country, and they don't hide away from this shit. On the when I went down to the African section, they tell you the history. They tell you why this artifact is here, why that happened. They tell you about slavery and all that stuff, and how they took it. So they don't hide away from it. It's not like they go, oh, our great country took this. You know what I mean? They're not it's not patriotic.
Yeah,
but there's some stuff in it that's just purely educational.
Yeah, but then there's some stuff out there. It's just it's sort of the country's. It's their sort of
their history
artifact. Yeah, it's their history, and it should be in their respective.
But then let's to play devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the best places for it to be. If you was to give it back to the country, yeah, they would have it, and that's it. But when it's over here, there's an element of study that can happen, and they can write books on it. They can show other people around the world, because Britain has one of the highest tourist rates of all the countries, right? Yeah. So everyone can learn about it from that artifact being there.
But at the same time, it's you almost have to be there. It's I don't know. I guess with the internet now, you don't really need to be there.
No, true.
To sort of just get the information, but
because there's an argument to be made that the artifact, if it was not all artifacts, I'm just saying, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, but there's an element of argument to be made that if the artifact was in that country, they would sell it, or they would sell it to a private buyer would have it, or a highest bidder.
Okay.
Rather than it being in a place of education.
Yeah, no. If that's the case, then I think in a way, it's kind of better to be here.
Like here's a niche example, right?
Mm.
I'm obviously half Iranian, right? There was artifacts there from Persia, from Iran, that I would never have got to see, if because I can't get to Iran.
Yeah,
So when I went into this museum, I saw stuff about my country's history and my dad's country's history that I would never have
yeah,
seen anywhere else because I'm here.
yeah.
And
So
like,
that's one of the good things
yeah,
is all of it being present in one place,
exactly.
and
Like,
it's
and you
like,
can be there and spend hours there. Like I put on my Instagram about like this Filipino armor that I saw. But this no, but this armor like it really surprised me because the armor on there like it's so advanced for that time period.
yeah,
It's like it was like woven with carabao and like it had like chainmail and leather. Like it was both.
mm.
And
So
it's really interesting like to see that.
it's to like a country that's like pretty much just like no, they didn't really have any technical logical stuff until like maybe like late 2000, like early 2000s to be
Yeah.
honest. So like
And that's why I found it
it
really interesting because when I
yeah,
went there and saw that, I would not have seen that if I went to Philippines. And you shouldn't have to only go to one country to see that stuff. It would
mm,
otherwise a lot of the country's history and culture would remain secret.
yeah, true. But at the same time, it's like it's kind of like it's theirs, but like I don't know, you can't really.
Because I'm sure
I
they've
don't
got
know.
more. Like it's not just
Yeah,
one piece of armor.
yeah, true.
And they
Also,
do. I know what museums do as well. They loan each other stuff, like
yeah, also
artifacts and stuff.
it's kind of like the whole Mona Lisa thing. It's like apparently there's a rumor that that's not actually the Mona Lisa the
Oh
painting.
really?
Yeah, it's like because I think is it? From what I can remember, my art teacher said it was like this was like back in like secondary school. She said
Mm.
it wasn't real because the amount of photos, like, I think it's like the flashes.
Right.
I think it for some reason the way she said it is like it kind of like it
Like
kind of
distorted or something.
yeah, like the colors. It basically like,
Mm.
over time because the amount of flashes, it kind of like I don't know, just like messes up the colors or something.
Mm.
So that's why it's not the real one apparently.
Okay.
So
I mean,
it's like
it would make sense for me for it to be like a replica being shown to people, but
yeah,
they do have the real one, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I
That's
mean,
what,
the only reason the Mona Lisa is famous anyway is because it got stolen. Like that is
is it
literally the
many
only.
times?
Yeah, it was like twice I think, and that was the only reason
Yeah.
it got made famous was because it was the painting that got stolen and then got retrieved. Like, and I've
Mm.
seen the Mona Lisa like in real life. It's not that amazing. Like, it's really not,
Fucking
dude. Honestly, it's. I got
not
to so
bad.
okay. I went to the Louvre, right? Went
Yeah,
there. There was this massive crowd to get in there, like to get into the Mona Lisa chamber.
yeah.
Right, you go in there and then you all shuffle forward, like bit by bit, and you can spend 1 minute at the front, or 30 seconds to 1 minute at the front, and then you have to go, and then you have to go, and then you have to go, and that's basically what happens. So you literally get there, you go, cool, and you're shifted out. And if you
Get
want to
the
do that
fuck
again, you
out
have
of
to go all the way back around
here.
again and do it again.
Yeah, no, it's like
And it's tiny, by the way. It's about the
yeah.
size. If I was to turn my monitor vertical, it's that size.
Mm.
It's really small.
Yeah, but it's like, how is it? It's like I think that's why the internet now is so great. It's because you can just look at it from the
Yeah,
phone and like, things like that, and it's like I mean, I guess you're only going there for like almost like the experience of
it
seeing
is
it.
the
Like,
experience.
I
Yeah.
have seen it for like my own eyes,
There's a lot of
but
things that are in the Louvre as well that are way more exciting, in my opinion, than the Mona Lisa. Like
I
that
just
you
want,
wouldn't see.
I'd rather go to the Sistine Chapel. I'm not a
Yeah, I
religious
mean,
man, but I would
no.
rather go to the fucking Sistine
This is
Chapel.
one thing we were talking about before. Like what religion has done for the world is given a lot of good artwork, like during
And
the Renaissance
great
period.
and great eyes as well.
Yeah, like
But
I don't know. When I went to the Louvre, like I saw a lot of Greek statues and stuff.
mm,
Which again, if going back to the beginning argument, if it's like if you could only find Greek stuff in Greece,
yeah,
I would never have seen it.
true.
And you would have
They
to
would
be
probably
rich.
have stole that, to be honest. Yeah,
You would have to be rich to see all these cultures because you'd have to travel all around the world. It's impossible,
yeah, true.
you know.
But then there's the internet, so.
There is internet now. There wasn't back then. But I don't know. I had fun. I thought it was good to see all these different cultures and stuff like that. But I guess like nowadays, it's a bit of a touchy subject, you know, with cultural appropriation and all that stuff in the same sort of vein.
I don't think with culture preparation stuff like that should not like include like historical
Yeah.
things. It's really weird, and I get it. That like you want that artifact to be in that country, but at the same time, like, would you personally go to like a different country to look at the
Yeah.
artifact there, and then come back and just be like, oh, it wasn't that exciting. So I
I
just
think
wasted
as
all
long
that
as
money.
yeah, exactly. I think as long as it's done tastefully and like and
And free.
educationally, yeah, and
Yeah.
free, then I haven't got a single problem with it. If anything, I
Mm.
support it. Like
Mm.
when I went into those certain places, I mean, we went into the African section
Yeah.
specifically to look for Mauritius. Because it's obviously
Sorry.
Shad's from Mauritius, there was nothing,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. Like, and then I got told that it wasn't like a country until like 1800s.
Ah, so
So
it's
that
pretty
might be
late.
why. There was an
Yeah.
uninhabited island, is what it was originally, and it
Uh,
got colonized from then. Well, not even. I guess is it colonized? I guess it just got settled.
yeah, it got settled. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't really say. Yeah, you can't really say
you got.
colonize.
You can't really colonize an empty island, I guess.
Yeah, there wasn't any like Aboriginal people there or
No,
anything.
it was nothing.
So
But
yeah.
yeah, it's such.
Interesting.
It's a very touchy subject nowadays. Like anything to do with colonization and stuff. Like there's this whole thing with William and Kate. Have you seen? You know William and Kate, right? The future king and all that crap.
Yeah,
Like
touches.
he's been traveling around the Caribbean recently because it's the Queen's Jubilee, the Diamond Jubilee, like the really big one.
Yeah.
And so for like celebration wise, they're going to all the colonies basically, and like celebrating with their country.
The countries that the
Yeah.
country that they have like sort of.
They still have sovereignty over,
Okay,
but Jamaica.
it's a bit weird.
It is a bit of a weird one. I'm not gonna lie.
It is a bit, yeah.
Jamaica were when they arrived, they were protesting, saying like they don't want them, like go away, and then I think they used that visit to say that they're going to be filing like for Republic, like in independence.
Yeah.
And while I absolutely agree, like, and I haven't got a single problem with it, I don't.
Yeah.
The people getting angry at these people for that is a really dumb decision because they that no one is saying don't become independent. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like the Queen isn't sitting there going, "You can't do that." Like I want to keep you. Like no, she's literally never done that, and she's openly supported anyone who does it want independence.
Maybe it's like this her that has to make the decision though. Maybe it's like something deeper than that.
Well, the Queen
Like,
the Queen doesn't make the decision on independence. The country does.
mm,
So
yeah.
if the country files for independence, and that's it. But
Yeah.
nowadays, no one would say no. Like no one's going to say no to that. Britain will never say no to a country becoming independent. So I just don't understand why everyone was so angry about it. Like people were really angry, like
Why?
saying, "Look,
It's
look!
like-
Finally, we're gonna get independence." It's like nobody was stopping you for the last 70 years. Nobody. You could have filed for independence any time.
Could you say it's lazy?
It's
Lazy.
they,
It's just
they,
laziness.
they don't want to reveal that they do actually get support. Like if
From
you're one of
Britain,
if
the
yeah
UK.
if you're one of the colonies, you do get money from the UK. They don't. It's not like they just do nothing and you give them all the money. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to travel back and forth. And I mean that's why we've got like a lot of Jamaican people in our country and stuff like that. Like, but obviously Jamaicans were also treated really badly in our country as well. So it's like there's bad and good obviously with each things, but them going for independence I think it's not a problem. Go for it.
Yeah. I mean,
No one's stopping you. Do it.
yeah. It's not like we're back in the fucking the 1800s or whatever, where it's like they're just gonna invade your country again or some
No.
shit like that.
Like dude, everything
Wait,
is
Putin?
yeah, well, exactly. Everything is literally a fucking race talk nowadays. Like it's crazy.
And it's just that's kind of the issue that I have.
Yeah.
It's just like
Like
it's,
even this Will Smith thing. Apparently it's about race.
I told you about that, right? And there was a news anchor saying that like white people can't say anything about it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's like
and
what?
I'm like, why is this becoming a race thing?
I don't
like-
know. Like it's America, man. America love turning everything into a race thing.
It's fucking strange.
It had nothing to do with race. It was about honor and I guess like taking the piss out of somebody.
Okay, if that's the
That was
case,
it.
right? If that's the case, right? That's basically black on black crime. No, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
It's a black on black assault. That's
black
what
black
it
assault.
is.
Like people
Like-
keep bringing up the Roman Polanski.
Like-
You know, like him and what's it? There was another guy, Harvey Weinstein. These two
Yeah.
people, they keep bringing them up and saying like, why was nothing done about these guys? And they've been banned from the academy for years, for the last like
Yeah.
5 years, I think. Like, and people going, well, why is Will Smith getting this, but Roman Polanski's not getting this? It's like they were both banned. Like they've both been banned. Like that's the same thing. And the difference is he literally walked up on stage and did it.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like, wait,
there's no question.
yeah, exactly, and there has to be like some sort of standard,
Yeah.
right? They can't just be like, oh, just because of this, like, he literally assaulted the man on stage,
Yeah.
and you telling me the academy is just gonna be like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, it's fine, we're just gonna give it like a quick slap on the wrist and just let it go. No,
Apparently he did get asked to leave.
but
Like,
he didn't.
at the time, yeah. At the time he got asked to leave and he said no.
There you go. So he's a
And
fucking.
so
He
they
sounds
couldn't
like a
drag him
privileged
out.
dickhead.
Oh yeah, no. This is like this has got. By the
They
way,
should have fucking dragged him.
this has got
Sorry.
nothing to do with race. This has got all to do with money.
Yeah.
You are so fucking privileged that you can walk up on stage, physically assault someone, sit back down in your fucking chair, and get an award for it. Not for
Yeah.
that, but for you.
And just forever just give you a standing
That
ovation.
yeah,
Get
that
the fuck
is
outta here, man.
the literal pinnacle of rich privilege I have ever seen in my life. Like, holy shit! If I went and slapped you right in a cinema, I would get put in prison.
Yeah.
That is such bullshit. Like, you're so rich and powerful, you can do whatever the fuck you want, man. It's crazy.
And it's nothing to do with race.
No, it's got absolutely fuck all to do with race.
But it's just people are just turning it to race, and it's just like, why?
Also, I'm sorry, like Jada, like she's a cunt. I'm sorry to use the like word, but she's an actual asshole. Like I saw a video today.
Of her, I don't know.
Did you see the Instagram live thing?
Yeah, when she was basically forcing him.
Yeah, she put him on camera and was like, "How do you feel about this situation?" And he was like, "How I feel is I don't like a camera being put on me and straight away recording me when I didn't consent to this." And then she turns around, see what I've got to deal with, all this stuff. And then she literally says it again, like, to him, and he was like, "Social media is my bread and butter. You're putting me on camera when I did not ask to be." Like, he's asked her twice to stop it, and she is just belittling him. That guy is being abused or something, man.
She has like the whole fucking testicular.
Yeah, he needs to get out of that marriage. Like, it's actually
fucking
crazy.
I feel like it's gonna be like Amber Heard all over again.
Yeah,
It's fucking nuts.
like look what he did on stage. Twat, shouldn't have done it, right? He knows this. What he should do, like, and I actually feel sympathy for him, is he should absolutely get out of that relationship because it's not doing anything for his mental health.
It just sounds so toxic. In all honesty, it really is. I mean, it boggles my mind. How can you just? I mean, I get it. Like, it's like she probably just said it like in a joking way or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But I look kind of serious, man. He said it twice as well.
Dude, look, put it this way, right? If I'm in my house and I'm streaming or something, I would never, ever, ever stream or record without telling everyone in the house that I'm doing it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, it's permission. Like, I have to turn around and say to people, by the way, I'm going to be streaming. By the way, I'm going to be recording. Like, because if they do something and something's captured on live, like, that's their livelihood. That's their life. This is a house at the end of the day. That was their home at the end of the day. So don't fucking do that. If they're in public, do whatever you want. But in your house, nah, man. It's your own wife, for fuck's sake. What's going on? It actually really aggravates me because it's such an invasion of privacy. Like, you know?
With a back tie or something.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing as when people record when they do something like a prank or something. Like, recording is okay-ish because you don't have to publish the video. But this was Instagram Live. It's being broadcast like straight away, and you're a big profile.
Yeah, it's being like put in cloud where people can like rewatch or like download it and just like highlight certain things, and it's just
she has always hated the fact that what she's known for is being Will Smith's wife. That's why. That's all it boils down to.
Like,
she's been in big films, and people still know her as Will Smith's wife, and that's what really hurts her ego, like, a lot.
But why?
Because she wants to be her own person, and I get that, right? This is not the way to do it, though.
Yeah, you can't.
There was videos of her laughing when he slapped the Chris Rock and came back to stage.
And not just that. I think is it a week or two maybe before like the whole thing incident happened. I think she released like a video saying that like I don't care what anyone else think about like my bald head or whatever. I embrace it. And I'm like,
yeah.
You could have stopped him if you fully embraced it. I get it. You know, you're salty. Someone made a joke about like your hair and stuff, losing your hair and stuff like that. Cool, but you could have stopped him,
dude.
Literally, could have been like.
When I do inevitably lose my hair, there will be bare jokes about my bald head, like constantly. Like,
I call him Eagle, and he knows why I call him Eagle.
Like, and that's where the people are trying to call this a race issue because they were like, oh, hair for a black woman is such a big like major thing and stuff like that. It's like
Every woman.
hair for everyone is a big thing.
Exactly.
Like no one really chooses to go bald. Like
Yeah.
especially with alopecia.
And I feel like it's like it's more important for the women. Like,
Yeah,
for men, I feel like it's just like like for me, if I shave my head, I don't care.
yeah. It would be
But I feel
weird,
like,
but like it's definitely like way more acceptable for a man to be bald than it is a woman.
yeah.
If anything, it's a woman issue. This thing,
Mm,
not a fucking race issue. It's way more of a woman issue because a woman with alopecia is a lot more noticeable, unfortunately,
mm,
in our society.
mm.
But yeah, I don't know.
But,
That was actually nuts. We're a bit late to the
but
party with the whole Will Smith thing.
oh, at this point, everyone's talking about it, it's just whatever. But yeah, like GI Jane, isn't she like a strong character? Like in the
Yeah,
film?
honestly, like it's probably the one of the most tamest and shittest jokes I've ever heard in my life. It wasn't. It
It's
wasn't
like
even funny. Like that's the thing.
I'm pretty sure Chris Rock was racist to a couple before that. He was
I
racist. He
didn't
was
see
talking
that one.
about. I don't know. I think I watched a couple of before that happened. It's like I think he was more like attacking because one was
Yeah,
like Spanish and one was white, and I think he mentioned something about like along those lines of like some race stuff. That was
yeah,
just like that was like it was almost like a slap
dude. Like
to
honestly, like I've heard like some of his stuff before. That was the most tamest joke I've ever heard. And let's just take away the slap. Like I said, the slap never happened. I would never have known about that joke if it wasn't for the slap. Because I wouldn't. One, I wasn't watching the Oscars, and two, no one else gives a shit about that joke. Like, do you see what I mean? It was such a shit joke and a bad joke
Yeah.
that no one cared. But he
But the
made
thing
it a
is,
thing.
right? Yeah, but the thing is, right? It's like these people have never heard of fucking Ricky Gervais.
Oh yeah,
He's
no.
hosted it for like the past like however many years.
Yeah,
Right before Chris Rock, and like he rinses literally everyone.
yeah. I mean, that was also the point of the Oscars at that point. Like, when you sit at the front as well, I've heard that apparently you're allowing yourself to be like roasted. Like, it's not so much like consent, I guess, but it's more like you have to know because the Oscars have been going on for how many years now that everyone who's in that front part usually gets commented on. It's happened at literally every single Oscars.
It's like I feel like it's the way I see it, right? It's like the comedian is supposed to bring these celebrities who's supposed to be like this famous, rich, or whatever,
Yeah.
just down to like the people like us, normal people.
It's meant to be like an ego, like a slap of the ego. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, right. To know that you are nothing special, you are still like
Yeah.
any other audience.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, and it's just, and that's how I see it. But if that's the case, the Oscars, whatever the people, like, they shouldn't be hiring a comedian to host their
No.
fucking show.
But that's literally the point. Like, I mean, was it Seth MacFarlane did it as well? The guy who makes Family Guy, and he was fucking brutal as
He's
well.
yeah, exactly.
Ricky Gervais did, I think, BAFTAs, I think it was, or something, or Golden Globes, one of them. And he like was like very very like, I don't like he was brutal, but like it was to the point where he was brutally truthful.
Yeah.
You know, he did it like, and he was like, "Come on, guys!" Like, he literally was like, "We're all gonna die. It doesn't matter." Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just laugh about it. Like, yeah,
I think he even made a comment about it. It's like I wouldn't have like made a comment about her hair.
yeah,
I would have made a comment about her boyfriend.
yeah, exactly.
Boyfriends.
And that's what a lot of people said. A lot of people said like, if he really wanted to be fucking mean, or
Yeah.
like if he really was taking the piss out of her, then he would have made a joke about that.
Yeah.
But what he did is he made like probably the easiest, like tamest joke you could have made about her. Like, and it still fucked her ego.
Yeah.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Oh my god. But yeah. Apart from that, like the other thing I wanted to talk about was the same sort of like vein of the British Museum thing, because it came up again like in a topic. Like I was talking to a colleague at work about it, and it's like about the cultural appropriation thing. Like for me, like it's there's a few parts of cultural appropriation. I'm not gonna go down this deep hole of cultural appropriation because people are very passionate about it, and I frankly don't really give a shit too much. So I don't want to piss anyone off, but I think there's a few things about that I don't understand. Like, for instance, like food, right? Why does no one ever say that's a bad cultural appropriation? Like, the whole point of like sharing people's culture is you know,
It's
sampling
also food.
different things, right? Food is one thing, clothing is another thing, like hairstyles is another thing. These are all like come from different cultures. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's like, why are people getting so uptight about hey, you're not white, so you can't have this. You're not black, you can't have that. Like,
But the thing that I think was most targeted, in my opinion, is white people.
yeah, it's true
It's,
because they are the
and
most like populous on the planet. So,
but are you not like proud that another culture is
mm,
taking part in your culture? And
exactly.
it's not like when like, the Kardashians where they're making money off.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, and that's the part
It's like
that like confuses me, is
yeah,
when they're talking about like cultural appropriation and stuff, right? I've heard a lot of people say the same comment, which is that white people don't have a culture, and it's
the Viking,
bizarre.
the fucking
The Vikings, like you got medieval Europe, which had a culture in
exactly
itself. You had like
yeah.
Renaissance, religion, like literally all of this comes down to it. Painting, opera, musicals,
Mm,
all of that comes from like white culture, if you wanted to call it that.
yeah,
It's fucking bizarre. Like
and it's just
you're living in a white culture. Like
and,
everything comes from that.
and what's weird is it's like they're not racist, but you saying white people
Yeah,
doesn't have a culture, you're being racist.
yeah, you are. You're taking away like
And,
people's livelihood and like even a Scottish. If you went to a Scottish person and said you had no culture, you'd probably get headbutted. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
they have the bagpipe, the kilt, the
they
fucking
got a long
the
history of
Scottish
culture.
independence,
Yeah,
fucking
like I don't. You can't say that to people. That's why I know that's a thing. Do you know what? That's the thing. That's why I know that's a thing said to Americans,
yeah,
because the country is obviously relatively new still in terms of like countries. It's only like 200 years old, right? So
yeah.
it's not actually that like. So when they're saying it to them, it's like I kind of understand what they mean. But if you
It
was to
came from
go,
us.
yeah, if you was to come to England and say you have no culture, we'd be like, what? Like that makes no sense.
Exactly. I don't know. It's just I feel like I think that's what kind of draws the line for me. It's like when people start saying stuff like that, like white people or like you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do
Yeah,
that. The way I see it, it's like if another culture, like I said, if another culture is embracing my culture, like in
yeah.
tasting my food and enjoying it, I don't
It
give a
makes me
shit.
proud. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, but great whatever fucking generations like
Yeah.
that's the food they ate,
That's like what
and
I
I'm
did with
proud.
when, like, was it one of the birthdays? I think, like when I took everyone to Iranian food, like Persian food, and
Yeah,
everyone ate it and they fucking enjoyed it, and I was like, this is sick. I love this. The fact that everyone
exactly.
enjoyed their meal, like, and it's stuff they've never tried before. That's what I loved about it. Like
Yeah.
even Japanese people, like they love it when you try their language or wear their clothing. Like
Mm.
they love it. They actually are like, this is amazing. Like
There you go.
nobody is angry about it. I don't get it.
So I don't understand why people are going really extreme with this whole thing. And I get it; it's your opinion, cool,
Yeah,
right? But it's almost like you're spreading hate in a way,
yeah.
and it's just like,
I
why?
just people just want to be angry, man. They just
You,
really want to be angry
dude,
at something.
I've been having this discussion with a friend of mine where it's like I keep telling them it's like people are just naturally aggressive and angry, and in my opinion, evil.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I
nah,
mean, not all
nah,
of them,
it's like,
but yeah,
again, but like I feel like majority of people are just in that
majority of
direction.
people are evil.
Yeah, like you, Jack, and me. I'm fucking. Everyone
I,
else is evil.
do you know what? Like, there are people that come up to you. Like, put it this way, right? If somebody was really kind, that would be
Yeah,
abnormal in your day. So I understand what you mean, because
yeah,
like, if I was meeting somebody like in a customer or whatever, right, and they were really genuinely nice, like really
yeah,
really kind to me, that would
yeah,
be like the highlight of my day. But also that's so abnormal for me that I would be thinking about it for a long time. So that just shows how
but
many people aren't kind.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Speaking of kindness, right?
Hmm.
This when I used to work in Aldi, this is what I used to do. This was it, I never told this to anyone. This like before, like maybe 2 weeks or before Christmas, right? The
Yeah.
way I do it, just for me, just to give back, right? When I see a person in the till struggling to pay for something, right?
Yeah.
Like it's fine, I'll get it. And they look at me, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing?" And I'm
Yeah.
like,
What's the
"It's
catch,
fine."
sort of thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I was just like, well, I just want to kind of get back. It's coming up Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just like my way of like sort of like just giving out, like I don't know, whatever. And then they don't look like they gave me like a funny look, like fuck is this person doing?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, and I was just like, I'm just being kind to you, man.
Well,
Giving you like,
yeah. No. I mean, I've never told this to anyone either. Like, but
mm,
when I used to give, I used to buy like meal deals and stuff like that, like for homeless people all the time. Like
yeah,
I used to do it like I think it was like once or twice a week. Sorry, every two
mm,
weeks I would do it. And it got to the point where I had to just leave it and go, because I would either get like funny looks or people asking me a lot of questions, or getting like what you do. It would be like, what's wrong with it, like sort of thing. Like they've been so fucking hurt by people,
like paranoid by
that they had to ask, and I'm just like, so I just started putting in a bag saying, here, this is yours, and walking away, like, because it's crazy, man. Like that shows how many people are just assholes. Yeah. Exactly.
So
nuts. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. On that bombshell that people are assholes.
People are assholes, right?
Yeah, we'll be back again next week. Thanks for watching. It's been quite good getting back into the schedule again. But
actually, like, let's know the whole, like, what do you think of the whole museum thing? Actually, the whole artifact thing.
Yeah, because I'm also, I mean, if you've never even been to British Museum, that'd be fun to know. Because I want to go to more museums. I got a museum card now. Look,
I prefer Science Museum.
Well, that's on here as well. Like, Science Museum, Natural History Museum. You can do those 2 in one day. It's easy.
Oh, crack.
But yeah. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time, next Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
See you. Peace.
Cool.